I know that YouTube.
YouTube is too wild now.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
I watch what you saying on YouTube.
Con, no sweat.
You are so.
Con, no sweat. Bear with me 1 second. Mm-hmm. Time crash. All right, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Barakatham, Yahweh Shema, Thumb Bashim Yahweh Shah. I'm priest and officer of 1000 Yedaya. This is the Wednesday night biblical law class. I'm covering the class for priest and officer of 1000 Danyala. Danyala be back next Wednesday. Understand this, man. As blacks and Latinos, we've been misled here in America. We've been taught that God loves everybody, and that's just not true. God does not love everybody. God does not love all races of people. Like if you are a so-called black or Latino man, and you coming back into your identity of being an Israelite, it's a beautiful thing, man. Because it's time to take back our identity, our culture. Like we are the greatest people on this earth because the Most High said so. And it starts with us separating ourselves from them and coming back into the understanding of who we are. The 12 tribes of Israel, the Israelites of antiquity. Tonight, you know what I mean, we're going to be going over interracial marriage. Is it of God? Of course we know it's not. And I'm going to break it down for y'all. One thing that we got to realize, too, Nakar, is that our people have been misled and lied to in that Christian church, believing that, oh, love is love. And our people don't even understand what love is according to the Most High. Let's get that first. Give me 2 John chapter 1 and verse 6. Let me show you what love is according to Yahweh. And that's another thing too, man. Like a lot of fake Israelites and a lot of Christians and Muslims don't even know the Lord's name, man. Right. You have no idea calling him Yahuwah, Ahaya, and all that garbage, man. The Lord's name is Yahweh. And let me explain to you, man. I'm going to show you according to the Bible what love is according to the Most High. Because a lot of our people don't have any iota or any clue of what love is. Go ahead, Nakar.
Somebody said, you know how that song is back in the day. You know what I mean? They want to know what love is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Spirit is saying, you know what I mean? You want someone to show you. I don't know if y'all know that song. When you said that side,
listen, man. Today they just like, man, what love got to do with anything?
Yeah,
goes to show you, man. But our people don't even understand what real love is. I'm gonna show it to you according to God. Read 2 John chapter 1 and verse 6.
This is the book of 2 John chapter 1 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
And this is the love.
And this is love. We in 2 John 1 and 6. This is love according to God. Read.
Come. That we walk after his commandments.
That we what?
Walk after his commandments.
And we in the Bible. And we in the so-called New Testaments for you Christians out there.
Right.
2 John 1 and 6 says, and this is love, that we walk after his commandments.
Right.
And we have to do the law. We have to keep the commandments of the Most High.
That's right.
We got to keep these laws, not just in commandments, because this is the biblical law class, Nakar.
Right.
And this law is important, man. Like the scriptures say in Psalms, man, the law of the Lord is perfect. It is. And you got to understand this too, man. Real love is walking after the commandments. Meaning not celebrating Christmas, celebrating Thanksgiving. Israelites and Christians got a problem with getting high. High is also a sin against God. Right. Smoking weed, smoking Reggie, shooting up, eating mushrooms, like goddamn, Nakar, like all of that is wrong according to God. And you don't love the Most High. You don't. If you're getting high, if you're being a whoremonger or a sexual deviant, man. Now is the time to change. Now is the time to realize that you could be better than what you are right now. You gotta let that old man or woman in the world die. That's why we have to understand what real love is according to God. That's why I said in 2 John chapter 1 and verse 6, and this is love, that we what?
Come. That we keep his commandments.
That we walk after his commandments. Read on.
That we walk after his commandments.
Go ahead.
This is the commandment that, as ye have heard from the beginning.
We've heard this from the beginning, man.
Right.
From the beginning. These are the commandments that we've heard from the beginning. The law has been around a long time, man. Like when the Lord, like listen, man, when Adam was given that breath of life, that breath of life is the law. Like it's been around since the beginning, man. Like these laws, not just in commandments, ain't going nowhere. Like it was a sin yesterday, and it was a sin tomorrow to be a homosexual, to be a whore, to be a whoremonger. to smoke weed, to smoke anything. You know what I mean? To eat unclean food, to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, to eat tuna. I had a fake Israelite on Twitter tell me in the car, "Oh no, Aki, tuna has micro scales. If you can't see it, dumbass, it doesn't have scales. It doesn't. They do not. And it just goes to show you, man, you lean it onto your own understanding. Clearly they don't have visible, fins and scales, man. Got the fins, but it don't got the scales. It's unlawful. A lot of y'all try to justify eating pork and eating that. What y'all eating? Crawfish? You eating anything and everything. But then you want to get mad at Jeffrey Dahmer for eating niggas. And that was wrong. That was heinous, McCart. But according to Christians, if you let them tell it, there was nothing wrong with Dahmer. Because what's the difference between him eating human flesh and you eating a piece of pork? Or you eating some crab or some lobster? According to God, both those things is wrong, man. And this is the commandment that we've heard from the beginning. And it ain't going nowhere. Is there any more?
Okay. As ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it.
And ye should walk in it, meaning we should do them. Right. Now give me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Meaning we have to do them. We have to keep these laws. And the problem is, too, our people have a problem with that. And it's the same problem that we had from the beginning. We want to follow after the other nations. We want to follow after the heathens and do what they do. We can't do it. Like I saw a picture today in the car that sickened me about like a couple NBA players that was going to some restaurant with their eaves, right? With their ribs. Right. And it's something that I noticed about each of them brothers. It was 5 brothers and 1 devil. And all 5 of them brothers was taking Susan. They was taking Becky. They was taking Archibald, Archibald's wife. You know what I mean? The she devil that Ime Adoka was messing with. I was like, God damn, not one sister. And then the one devil, guess who he brought? He brought a sister. I said, this right here is an abomination to God, man. Interracial marriage is not of the Most High. I want the 2 John 1 and 6 to show you what real love is that's keeping the commandments. I'm going to break down tonight why interracial is a sin. Interracial marriage is a sin according to God. Because you're not allowed to marry these heathens. Sex is marriage too, by the way. When you lay down with that sister, brother, and sister, when you lay down with that brother, that is marriage according to God. The scriptures say that Adam knew Eve, knowing her, meaning had sex with her. Isaac took Rebekah to his mother's tent and tore fire to her tail, and she became his wife. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, if I could, man, I was talking to these 2 sisters, you know what I'm saying? We were just talking about how, marriage and stuff like that, right? What is marriage? So we talking about it, and the one sister was like a fake Israelite, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, you need a marriage. To the marriage, you need a certificate. I said, where is that at in the law? I never seen where it says that. They were like, well, you're supposed to meet the father. And I said, you talking about a marriage? You talking about that blanket? I said, okay. Can you qualify for that blanket? You know what I'm saying? No. So she was like, yeah, well, you're supposed to follow the law of the land. I said, so I can't. It's against the law for me to call a woman my wife. Is that me breaking the law? No. So how is that the law of the land? You don't have to get married on paper to anybody. It's just that you're going to be solidified in the system. I said, sex is marriage, right? Mm-hmm. She was like, prove that to me in the Bible. I ain't never heard that. So, I went to, right? Mm-hmm. Showed her what sex is marriage in the Bible. Now it's crickets. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And she was talking about, well,
while we there, pull that scripture too. Yeah, pull that scripture and let's break that down. Because the Bible also says to prove all things, man. I'm gonna let you continue on what you were saying, on which is heavy about when the car is saying, man, like sex is marriage. You know what I want? Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. Because a lot of y'all think that you could just go out here and have irresponsible sex, and you cannot. When you lay down with that woman, that is now your wife. And sis, when you lay down with that brother, that is now your husband. And you ain't supposed to marry heathens. But let me first show you when the card is saying it's correct. I'm going to let you go back up. Go ahead.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And if a man entice a maid.
If a man entice a maid, what does it mean where it says if a man entice a maid? Meaning he's spitting game to her. He's spitting game to this maid. He talking that stuff to her, man. Right. And this maid, and it's going to explain it. Go ahead, keep going.
If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed.
That is not betrothed, meaning this sister is not promised to nobody. She's not dealing with nobody. She's not talking to multiple men. She's single. And if a brother come and entice her, spit game to her, talk to her, talk sweet to her, court her, keep going. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, I mean, like the Lord is actually giving you the game. Like right here, he said she ain't betrothed to nobody. Like one thing, before I even knew the truth, I would always make a girl cut every dude off that she was talking to once I'm in her presence.
And that's righteous.
You know what I'm saying? So it was always like my drawing, like I was like, man, F them other cats. I'm here now. It's either you messing with me or not. And then they'll do so because I want security on my end. Now, coming into the truth, understanding when you fear the Lord, now it's like it helps you be able to gain a woman that actually have dignity. Like a woman that's talking to multiple guys at one time, she has a wandering eye. You know what I'm saying? She should take her time. You know what I'm saying? All right, look, I cut that off just so that she won't be moving messy. Nowadays, she can move messy. The Lord is trying to prevent brothers from falling into the snares.
And listen, it goes to say that the Lord knows far better than we do.
Yeah.
Far better, because he's telling us, man, letting sisters know. You ain't supposed to be courting and talking to different brothers, man, and being in different brothers' faces. The scriptures say also for brothers to sit not with another man's wife. To sit not with another man's wife. I don't have no business talking to a sister that is married. I ain't got no business sitting there talking to you, talking on the phone, sitting in a room, being at the bar. I ain't supposed to be doing none of that. Hell no. And it goes to show you, man, and especially in the world, they glorify that. Like brothers will take glory, you know, I took that brother's joint. I took her from him. I took his shorty. Like that's gay. That's real gay and homosexual. Why would you want to place your rod in somewhere where another man is placing his? Nah, you ain't supposed to be doing that. While the Lord said, if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, that is not promised to nobody, she's single. And it's a lot of single sisters out here, man. It's a lot of single sisters out there. Do not be fooled. You know what I mean? Sure. And this is for you brothers out there too. I know it may seem like, damn, she's talking to somebody, she's talking to somebody, she's talking to somebody. Especially where we at in Philadelphia, it is 90,000 more sisters than there is brothers. You could find a good sister out there. They out there. They looking for a good brother. And the thing is, they're not looking hard enough because y'all all want the same type of brother. Y'all all want the same type of brother. The brother that ain't going to do you right. The brother that's going to treat you like garbage. Sisters, you got to wake up and say, listen, man, I'm tired of getting treated like garbage. I'm tired of being treated like, oh, and y'all big on this, the side piece or whatever. And I'm just going to tell you it here first. You know what I mean? From a real priest and prophet of God in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We are only, I want to say about 15% better than every other man that you ever talked to and been with. We are 15% better. And I'm going to tell you why. That's a big number too. We're not going to beat you up. We're not going to be talking crazy to you. You're not going to be a slave. You're not going to be getting abused. We're not going to leave you when we get married to you. When the brother in the UBK marries you, you his. And guess what? Bitch, get in the van. It's like, what is we doing? Like you'll leave a good brother, you know what I mean, because he has another wife, and the scriptures say you could have another wife. You'll leave a good brother that has another wife to get with another brother that's not only going to beat you up and molest your kids. Guess what else? He has another wife. Go ahead, Nicole.
If I could. Man.
And he probably gay.
Yeah,
it's a lie.
Like, if I could, like, it's crazy, like, you know, coming to the school, like, we change our lives. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I've carried a lot more different than it's like, I'm kind of like, I'm an uppity Negro on my head sometimes. I like, you dare, you know what I'm saying? You dare play with my time? Like, because it gets to the point where it's like, when you say like that 15% better, like, we are trained to be good husbands and wives, good husbands and fathers, right? In here, for the men in particular. So it's like, when we present ourselves, realize that this is the ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't coming here to play games with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, come correct. And the crazy part about it is, a lot of sisters don't get it. Because besides us, this other brother that I see that's out there, that these sisters be missing a plane. And they go off and, I mean, yo, they literally I check in with them again, they going upside their head. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't doing that here. We gonna give you exactly what we tell you. You're gonna get love, you're gonna get all the affection. We also gonna check the shit out of you. It's like, we're gonna check you, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure that we got you. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's why I always tell sisters, man, take advantage of coming into the school. You know what I'm saying? If a brother in the UPK approach you, man, like, understand, like, that's a whole different type of breed. And if you miss that train,
yeah, you missed that train, shalom. Because this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna end up with somebody that is going to leave you anyway, that is gonna leave you far more damaged than you ever were. That's why it's important to understand, like, you can't be out here having irresponsible sex. Like the Lord is saying here, if a man entices a maid, meaning he's going to go spit game with his sister, that is not betrothed. Read on.
God. And lie with her.
And lie with her, meaning have sex with her.
Right.
And tear fire to her. Keep going.
God. He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife. Meaning now she is his.
Right.
Now she belongs to that brother. I want every sister to think about that. Like, the man you sleeping with right now, that's your husband. A lot of you is like laughing to yourself, like, oh no, that can't possibly be. But according to God, you know what I mean? According to the Bible, guess what? That is the case. And that's why you got to be careful who you lay down with, especially to you brothers, man. A lot of you brothers right now is married to a dragon. You are married to a monster. You married to Godzilla for real. You know what I mean? For Salakia. You married to the Loch Ness monster. Some of y'all married to Bigfoot and don't even know it. That's why you can't have irresponsible sex with every sister, man. You got to realize, and this is one thing that we was taught here in the Israelite School of UPK, man. Commander General Yohana teaches us, don't even touch a woman unless you are willing and ready to spend the rest of your life with her. Right. You could apply that to yourself, brother. Don't even touch a sister unless you're willing to spend the rest of your life with her. Guess what? Guess what happened? Beautiful things would happen. Now, marriages fail in the world, man. They do. They fail in the world all the time. That's why it is important to understand, man, that we black families got to come back together. And we doing this in the UPK. We doing it. Look how many brothers and sisters, man, they get caught up in this interracial marriage, right? That is just miserable. Like, I be looking at them brothers that got Susan and Becky on their arm. I be like, God damn, brother, you just, ooh-wee. That's a rough joint in the car. That's a rough joint. And some of y'all think you can still be pro-black and pro your people. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Same thing for you sisters. Like, y'all big up, you know what I mean, Serena Williams. You big up, you know what I mean. Y'all bigged up Kobe when he was out there messing with that white whore, man. Bigging up, you know what I mean, Tim Duncan and other brothers in the NBA to go out there and marry the oppressor and marry these heathens. You ain't supposed to do that. That is detrimental. That's why when LeBron's son, when Bronny went out there and took that oppressor's daughter to prom, like his little sister, baby girl, she was looking like, yo, what the fuck? She was looking back like, what's going on? What's up? Like, baby girl was right. She's like, yo, this ain't right. This is unjust. It wasn't a sister he could have took. It wasn't a Latino sister he could have took. It wasn't a Seminole Indian or First Nation sister he could have took to prom. You had to take Susan. You had to take Becky, Gretchen. Good night. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, if I could, like that's why the Lord said train up your children, man, because like when I was growing up, you know, my mom always said, you better not bring a white girl back to my house. And like I just watched Emancipation with my wife last night, and I definitely commend those brothers. Whoever made that movie, they knew what they was doing. Because when you're in the ISUPK, when you watch that movie, it ain't just you walking in it. You know what I'm saying? Because we do it for them. And when we in here teaching, when we out doing the work of the Lord, we're not doing it for us. We're not just representing us. We representing the ones that was on the slave ships. You understand? The ones that was picking cotton, had to go to war, that was slaughtered, get everything taken away from them. You watch that movie, that was the movie about the brother that got his back beaten, and it goes so viral. I got with a picture right in here.
So the Levite brother.
Yeah, the Levite brother, right? I never even knew the story of that brother. But what he had to go through was hell.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? You would see a little white girl saying, runner, nigger, runner. You know what I'm saying? For us having to go through all that pain, all that torture, all that heartache, as a people, we should know and teach our children, that's not where you go and lay in bed with.
Absolutely.
That's not who you indulge yourself with.
Right.
But because of Esau's devices, how much the white man is such a conniving individual, someone that has money but no knowledge of God, their son is going to go take. Instead of you, LeBron James' son, you got all the sisters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You down there like a king on in this, bro. You can take any woman you want. Because without the knowledge of the Lord, without your self-identity, your son will go take some white woman from you.
Listen, man, it was heavy about what you're saying, man, not having the knowledge of this truth. Because the old man who I used to be was into all that stuff. Was into all that. Me not knowing no better, me not having the knowledge of this truth from the Lord, I was just like that. And the heavy thing is, man, all that came up off me when I came in this truth. All that. Because when you come in this truth, you realize, man, how evil, just how evil interracial marriage is, man. And how detrimental it is, man, to the children and to our people that have to see it. Like, it's a level of self-hatred that is just unbelievable. Like, you feel as though you ain't make it unless you got Becky on your arm. Like, you feel as though you ain't winning. Like, I'll give you a prime example of that, right? Look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan got, you know what I mean, a ton of children. Now, his rib now is the so-called devil. You know what I mean? She's a she-devil. And guess what? If Michael Jordan died today or tomorrow, who you think his wealth gonna go to? His sons and daughters, or is it gonna go to his she-devil wife? You don't even think about stuff like that, man. Like, you passing on your wealth and you passing on, you know what I mean, your riches on, you know what I mean, to the oppressor, instead of passing that on, you know what I mean, to our own people. Like, that is an evil thing to do. Like, my household, man, yeah, these houses, that's why when Commander General Yohana is saying that we don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house. We need a Latino man in every Latino house, a Native American Indian man in every Native Indian house. Because we're the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And interracial marriage is wrong according to God. And when you slay down, you know what I mean, with the oppressor and marry them, that is an evil and treacherous thing to do. It is. Like, it is. I don't know if y'all understand that, man. Like, you laying down with the oppressor or she-devil, it's like laying down with a dog. It's like laying down with an animal. It's bestiality. And the Lord against that too. But let me show it to you in the Bible. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Y'all got any questions? I'll be taking your questions online. You know what I mean? Type them in. Or any questions in the room, raise your hand.
Comes the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
The Lord said, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. The Lord is telling the children of Israel, us, blacks and Latinos and Native American Indians, Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. You ain't supposed to make marriages with these heathens, man. You ain't supposed to marry Africans. Black man, let me explain something to you. We not African. We are not African. Latino man, you are not a conquistador. You are not a son or daughter of Cortez. You know what I mean? Native American and Seminole Indian, man. We are the Israelites of antiquity. The Lord is telling us not to make marriages with them. Don't make marriages with those heathens, man. Keep going.
God. Thy daughters, thy daughter shalt not give unto his son.
Thy daughter shalt thou not give unto his son. Meaning our daughters aren't supposed to marry the sons of the oppressor in these heathens, man. And it's one brother I want to big up, man. I want to big up Serena Williams' father, you know what I mean, King Richard. Let me tell you why. Like, and this is one thing that our people need to understand, which is righteous about that brother. I wish I can get that brother a fly. He didn't go to Serena's wedding when she married that devil. He said, the oppressor is my enemy, and the oppressor is our enemy, man. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. El hombre blanco es el diablo. We got to understand, we ain't supposed to give our daughters unto their sons. Let me explain something to you, man. According to the Bible, right, Numbers chapter 1, verse 18, you are of the seed of your father, man. Your house and your pedigree comes after your dad. Meaning this. If your father is a so-called white man, guess what? You are a so-called white man. If your father is Asian, you Asian. If your father is black or Latino, Native American Indian, you an Israelite, man. If your father is African, you're African. But to be an Israelite, to be Israel, your father got to be a so-called Negro, man, or a Latino, or a Native American Indian, man. And you ain't supposed to give your daughters unto their sons. You ain't supposed, my daughter can't marry no oppressor. And if she do, she ain't my daughter no more. She dead to me. She out. She gone. Same thing with my son. He better not. He better not. I'm trying to tell you, you better not bring Sue. You better not bring Archibald's daughter in my house in the car. I'm trying to tell you. It ain't gonna go well. I pray you understand that. Neither shalt thou give thy daughter unto his son. Read on.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
We ain't supposed to take their daughters unto our sons neither. So LeBron's son taking that she-devil to prom was wrong, man. It was wrong. We ain't supposed to give their daughter unto our sons. Every brother that go up make it in the NFL or the NBA, you feel as though you made it. You feel as though you winning because you got Becca in your arm. You don't realize, man, you her pet. You are her pet. For real, man. That's the one thing brothers don't understand. I heard brothers say this stupid garbage in the car talking about, well, you know, I'm effing her, you know what I mean, for my ancestors, for slavery. Nigga, you just a lustful bastard. You just a lustful bastard. You know what you can do? Marry a sister, marry a black woman, marry a Latina woman, marry a First Nation woman, man. Same thing with, listen, and we got to stop the division amongst ourselves, man. I seen stupid brothers get upset talking about, oh, they went to go see Wakanda 2, Black Panther 2. And the sisters, you know what I mean? A lot of sisters, you know what I mean? I seen on the internet was lusting after Namor. I was like, go ahead, go get this a car. Go get it. Because Mexicans are Israelites, man. Puerto Ricans, you know what I mean, are Israelites. Cubans are Israelites. Native American Indians, Seminole Indians are Israelites. Now, we got to stop this colorism thing, man. It's about who your father is. That determines who your nation is. Like a lot of y'all look at Africans and think, oh, because they dark skinned, oh, you can marry them. Hell no. No. The Lord told us, man, we can't marry these heathens. We can't give their daughters unto our sons. And we can't give our daughters unto their sons. We ain't supposed to do that, man. No sweat. And what's heavy about it, man, like which is so deep about it, what our people don't understand is that how detrimental it is to the family when you do that. Because you sitting up here marrying that heathen, man, and you're having children with her. You know what that tells every sister? That she's not good enough. You know what that tells every brother and sister? When you go and get your oppressor or go get an African or an East Indian, you know what I mean, or an Arab, it's letting brothers know they ain't good enough. And our God is displeased with that behavior, man. That's why he said in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 3, neither shalt thou make marriages with them, thy daughter shalt thou not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Meaning we ain't supposed to take their children, man, and give them to our kids. We ain't supposed to marry them, period. Leave Becky alone. She can't use your comb. Don't bring her home. Don't do it. Don't do it. And listen, man, we got prime examples to look at too, man. Like we should look at brothers like OJ. Jesus Christ. Like you look, listen, that should tell you right there, leave your oppressor's daughter alone. Like you get caught up. It was a sister, man. I forget her name. She was messing around with some devil in the NFL, and he beat the shit out of her, Israel. He beat the hell out of her. He thought he killed her, and then she woke up, and he was eating a bowl of cereal like, whoa, you're still alive? Laughing. And then she ran in the bathroom and called the police while he tried to chase after her. Gotta understand, man, you gotta leave them devils alone, sis. Brother, you gotta leave them she-devils alone. Listen, man, like my brother Barzal Rakal always say, man, we got 12 different flavors, man. 12 tribes, man. African women will never look better than black women, like Barzal said, man. He's right. African women could never look better than sisters, man, of Haiti and of the West Indian Islands and of the Americas, man. They can never look better than our Latina sisters, man, and our First Nation sisters. I said, you better come and get a brother. Better go get that Haitian brother. Better get that Mexican brother. Better go get that so-called Negro in the Americas, man. And stop playing. Read verse 4 in the car, if you can.
Come, verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Man, the scriptures say that they shall turn away thy son from following me. You go get the oppressor's daughter. You don't serve God no more. You don't serve Yahweh. You know who you serving? You serving the Black Panther. A lot of you brothers, man, lusting after them African women. You went to go see Black Panther. Now you want to go get an original woman. Now you want to go get, you know what I mean, a Hamite in the car. Now that you done jumped into that tail of that heathen, man, of that African woman that smelled like rhinoceros residue and giraffe water. And you think you got something. Brother, I know that smell is biblical. I know that thing. Listen, I know that smell crazy. Like some of y'all brothers, man, I know a brother in the world, man. Listen, I know a brother in the world that like East Indian women in the car. We was getting ready to go over their crib one day. Make his long story short, we ain't going there. Me and my good brother, we were like, yeah, we know that shit smell crazy. Nah, man. We ain't supposed to be doing that. Now you go get with that heathen woman. Now you serving Shiva. Now you serving white Jesus. Now you serving Allah. Because the Lord knew better than us, man. It says, for they will turn away thy son from following me. Now you serving the God of the Black Panther. Now you, Kimbo. Can't be doing that, black man, Latino man, and woman. Go ahead, Nicole. You gonna say something?
Yeah, come. So like, I've been in those East Indian, apartments.
Jesus.
In my slave,
I definitely say, that ain't no place that you want to dwell in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all for using garlic and turmeric and curry and all that, but like, that smell ain't pleasant. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't it. And like, when brothers usually like to trickle over to like different nationalities, man, it's really like a lust for real. Because it's like, you dealing with these people for what? East Indians don't like this. You know what I'm saying? They parents ain't gonna like you. White people parents ain't gonna like you. These African parents damn sure ain't gonna like you. You know what I'm saying? You be better off just dealing with your own people.
Damn right. Dealing with our own. And some of y'all brothers got a problem with them Asian women too, which I never understood that. Y'all love Ammon and Moab. Ammon is the so-called Japanese, and then Moab is the so-called Chinese. You love they women, man. Understand this, man. They slow. And even they parents know. Like, don't do that. We're going to go over a brother in the scriptures tonight, man. We're going to go over Samson and what his parents said to him when he went out there to try to get this African woman, man. And it goes to show you, man, they'll never truly love us. All you really going to be is their pet, and their job is to turn us away from our God. That's why it says, for they will turn away thy son from following me. Read.
That they may serve other gods.
That they may serve other gods. Now you with that African woman, now you are serving the God of the Black Panther. Now you with that oppressor, now you in the Christian church. Talk about hallelujah, brother. Thank you, Jesus. It says now you sitting up there married to an oppressor. Like, that is an evil thing. Like, you got brothers, you getting with the East Indian, man. Now you worshiping Shiva. Now your mind is being turned away from serving our God. You can't be pro-black, pro-Israelite, pro-black, Latino, and First Nation if you're willing to marry outside of your race, man. It don't work that way, according to God. Read.
That they may serve other gods, so will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
The anger of the Lord is kindled against us, man, because we serving other gods, following after these other gods and marrying these heathens. Something that we ain't supposed to do, man. Like, and now you sitting up here married to the oppressor. Guess what? Now you in the full blown Christian spirit. That oppressor woman, she gonna want to celebrate Christmas. She gonna want to celebrate New Year's. She gonna want to get out there and celebrate, Valentine's Day and all these things the Lord told us not to do. Now you serving their gods, and it angered our God, man. This is not how it was supposed to be. Go ahead, go
on. And destroy thee suddenly.
And the Lord will destroy you suddenly, man. The Lord will destroy you if you think it's all right, to marry outside your nation, to marry outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Keep going.
But thus shall ye deal with them.
The Lord said, this is how we're supposed to deal with them. This is how we're supposed to deal with these heathens. Keep going.
Ye shall destroy their altars.
We're supposed to destroy their altars. Meaning we're supposed to take that Quran, right, and throw it out the goddamn window. Take that Quran and throw it out the window. You know what? If you don't want to throw it out the window, I understand. Let me tell you what I do with the Quran. I take my Quran, right, when I ain't got no Scotch toilet paper and I ain't got no Charmins, boy, that Quran do wonders. It do wonders, man. That's all it's good for. It's a goddamn comic book, Nicole. I'm a comic book junkie. I like collecting Marvel and DC comics, man. The Quran is another comic book because Allah is not the God of blacks and Latinos, man. Allah is the figment of the imagination of the Arabs, man. The Lord's name is Yahweh. And listen, man, the scriptures say in Deuteronomy 6:4, Shammai Yasha Allah Yahweh Allahayana Yahweh Akkad, meaning our God is one God, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, and he only the God of niggas. He ain't the God of the Arabs, ain't the God of the oppressor, the God of these other nations. Supposed to take that Quran and do what I do with it. Throw it out the damn window or wipe your ass with it. That's what you're supposed to do with it. And throw that white Jesus out too. Throw Caesar Borgia in the goddamn garbage, man. Throw Buddha away. You look like, I don't understand that in the car. You a brother, right? Circle on a stone 7 times and slamming your face down to it. You a brother going to the church worshiping a white God around fat white angel babies. Come on, man. Come on, man. The Lord said we're supposed to break these altars down, man. Go ahead.
If I could say, like, what's so crazy is, like, again, like when I think about that new Will Smith movie, like he played that movie pretty good. Because one part of the movie, I ain't gonna say too much, of course, but like one part of the
I don't watch slave movies like that, so you can spoil it for me.
All right, so like the movie basically is him running away. That's the brother's story.
Ain't no revenge, ain't like Django, huh?
Oh no, he was a Levite. He was a Levite, and he was getting busy. You know, they was down in Louisiana. So this dude, it was the guys, the slave patrol, right? That one area, he was going against them and their dogs. Mm-hmm. So down in Louisiana, there's nothing but swamps.
Right.
This cat went and killed a whole alligator. You know what I'm saying? With just a knife and a branch.
Yeah, that's a Haitian for you. That's a Levite. Yeah, that's a Levite brother for you.
I said, hold on, this brother a Levite? I said, no wonder. You know what I'm saying?
Levi don't fuck around. Like.
Will Smith, he killed every last guy that was chasing. Killed every last guy. You know what happened when everybody want to talk about the Emancipation Proclamation? No. It showed in the movie is either you're going to work on our farms on this base or you're going to fight. You ain't free, nigga. So, you know what Will Smith did? I'm going to go kill. Went and killed. went through, survived, and got his family back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the one guy that was in there, that Negro that was up there helping the white man catch other slaves, he said, before he killed him, he said, "You the worst nigga. You the worst kind of nigga." Murder. Boom. That was it. And the white man, he killed the white man's dog. White man was like, "Oh, snaps."
Yeah, you kill a white man dog. That's a crime against humanity.
White man he was like, "Oh, snaps." He killed Will Smith was like, "Y'all gotta kill this dog. This dog keeps sniffing me." He killed the dog. White man was like, "He just killed my comrades." You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Like,
I'm about to catch this. I'm about to watch this movie now.
Like,
I'm about to watch this film.
And he had faith in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, that brother had faith in the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And in his time of calamity, he leaned on the Lord. From the little knowledge he knew about the Lord, he said, "The Lord is going to get me to where I need to go." He had faith. You understand? He knew who the enemy was. He was one of us. He kept getting knocked down. He kept getting up. That man wasn't fighting to go eat at the white man's table and have sex with the white man's daughters. He fought for his family. And that's what we all supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
We ain't supposed to be trying to serve these other gods, trying to lay down with these other nations. We should be fighting for our people.
Right.
We should be fighting for our sisters to stop being the horrible people that you claim that they are. If you ain't trying to help the situation, you understand? Don't try to complain about the black woman being a loud mouth. Oh, she don't want to listen to nobody. Well, Negro, what did you do? Huh? Oh, you got money. Oh, yeah. So what are you doing to help your people?
Absolutely. And what you're saying is just when the officer in the car, Officer 500 is saying it's so heavy, man. Like a lot of brothers, you don't understand. You're not doing the work. You'll rather get on a goddamn plane and go marry somebody else. You know what I mean? Because it's easier. Can't give up on these sisters, man. A lot of you brothers, I see y'all brothers. I see y'all talking about you passport bros. Ain't wrong with going to Puerto Rico, going to Cuba. I mean, marrying Israel, that's fine. But a lot of you brothers is out there making whores of them sisters, man. Can't do that. A lot of you brothers, you know what I mean? The car was talking to y'all. Y'all out there going to marry the Chinese woman, marry the East Indian woman, go marry some oppressor from Ukraine and Russia. Can't abandon these sisters, man. That's why you got to come into the UPK and help correct this problem, man. Because here in ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, we raise up strong black men. And in raising up strong black, Latino, and First Nation men, guess what happens? We go out there and we raise up our sisters. We get our families back in order. It's the natural order of things is Christ is the head of man, man is the head of the woman, and God is the head of Christ. I pray you understand that. We're supposed to tear down their altars, man. We ain't supposed to be doing the things of these heathens, man. Keep going, the car.
And break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire.
We supposed to throw Caesar Borgia, Allah, Shiva, all them different gods in the goddamn garbage.
Right.
That's what we supposed to do. And why are we supposed to do this? Why are we not supposed to seek peace, love, and unity with all races of people? Read the next verse.
Boom. The Lord, Salakia, verse 6, for thou art an holy people.
In Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6, it says, for thou art an holy people. Holy means separate. Holy is not your mama or your auntie or grandmom with a feathered hat on in church. It's not your pastor or your imam with the white robe and gown on. When you look the word holy up, holy means to be set apart, separate. The Lord is saying for the children of Israel, blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, for thou art an holy people. We are a separate people, set apart. Keep going.
God, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
The Lord has done what?
Chosen thee to be a special people.
The Lord thy God have chosen us, man. It says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. We separate unto the Most High. And to be a special people, man. Who's more special than blacks and Latinos? I wait, nobody. Nobody. We are that special people, man. And what we got to understand, we got to stop looking at each other like we are each other's enemies, like we each other's ops. A lot of you got deep resentment towards our Latino brothers and sisters, man. Talking about, oh, he may be a Spaniard, he may be a conquistador. You know who the conquistador is. Conquistador is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. El hombre blanco es el diablo. But you got to understand, man, or you'll say something like Afro-Latino. Like, what the fuck is that? It's a lot. The Taino Indian, man, and the Mexican Indian, they are Israelites, man. There's more archaeology that supports them being Israel than us, black man. Tribe of Judah, tribe of Levi, tribe of Benjamin. You can't try to discredit our Latino brothers and First Nation and Seminole Indian brothers and sisters because you got a problem with colorism, man. You a damn traitor, man. And you don't want to be taught. You don't have the understanding, man. Why you got to come and get it from a real priest and prophet of the Lord here in the Israelite School of UPK. You got to understand, man, we not each other's enemies. Brothers say it all the time. Oh, he my op. How the hell can your brother be your op? Let me explain something to every brother, man, every sister out there. No brother can flex on me. I'm going to tell you why when I say no brother can flex on me. Because I want you to succeed, brother. I want you to win. I want more success for you than I want for my damn self. Like, my goal, man, is to see Israel come back together. Kwam Yasha'Allah, rise, Israel, rise up. We got to realize, man, we are them niggas, man. When it says thou art a holy people, a special people under the Lord thy God, we them niggas as blacks and Latinos, man. You got to understand, if you realize that fellow Latino and First Nation and Seminole Indian brother is special, you know what we won't do? We won't hate each other. We won't sell each other drugs, man. You won't marry outside of your race because you know that sister is special, man. And Latino and First Nation and black sister, man, are special unto the Lord, man. Read on.
God. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. We are above all people. So why would you want to go get a heathen? We are above the oppressor, above the Africans, above the East Indians, above the Asians, man. We above everybody. That's what God says. Ain't no such thing as equality. God said that we are special people, man, a holy people, and above all people that are upon the face of the earth. I pray you understand that. You gonna say something in the car?
Yeah, God, what you saying is heavy, you know, because this is what LeBron James should be teaching his son. And this is what all them brothers that had took out those white women on the dinner dates from the New York Knicks. They should all know this, that we are God's chosen people, and we should be separate from these other nations spiritually and physically. You know, only time we're supposed to be dealing with these people are if we're dealing with on the business tip. But other than that, our sons and our daughters should be knowing this truth. And this is why we charge the white man for his crimes. Because it's because of his religion, his Christianity, that make our people believe the same way on the plantations. And to talk back on Will Smith movie, I think it was the best movie of 2022. You know what I mean? They was quoting Bible scriptures. And literally, they was using it as like mantras.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like evil that has to be? How evil that is to really, it's like a mantra. You know how like an affirmation?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, they was putting that into people's head. So it would be like, obey your masters. They use that.
You know why they use that? Because in DC right now, they have an actual slave Bible.
Yeah.
A slave Bible that they used to give to pastors that were Negro or Latinos, and it would be an oppressor that would sit in the back of the church while they actually taught out of that. Now what happened was Nat Turner and other brothers, man, like Denmark Beasley and other revolutionary brothers, man, started to get their hands on an actual KJV Bible and realized, hold on, man, we are the 12 tribes, man. We Israel. Like Harriet Tubman knew she was an Israelite, man. That's why it's important to understand when the car is saying, like, what they doing is showing us blatantly right here in our face. It's right there in our face, man, that we are Israel, and the oppressor trying to use it and try to regulate and say, oh, you have to obey your masters. You have to obey your masters. What the oppressor did to us was unjust, man. Even when you look at the scriptures, man, it says obey your masters. You have to obey your Lord. Like you have men over you in rank. And here's the thing: with rank comes responsibility. If you're an officer of 50, you're responsible for them, not just 50 brothers, man, but 50 brothers and their families, man. Same thing if you're an officer of 500. You're in charge of 500 brothers under you and their families. Same thing with officers of 1,000. You got 1,000 brothers and sisters that you are over and their families. Same thing when you get up the ranks to 5,000, be a captain of 10 or 13,000 or a general. It's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And guess what? And if it's a scenario, man, where somebody has to die to preserve the people, I got to die for the cause. I got to die for his family, man. Because this is the oath that we took, man, to understand that our people come first. Really, the men above you serve you. And it don't mean the men above you can just treat you any kind of way and talk to you any type of way. You know what I mean? You ain't supposed to do that. The important thing is to remember, man, with this brotherhood and with rank comes responsibility. And brotherhood prevails above all, man. And with this rank, man, that the Lord gave, because this is rank, listen, man, rank and order has always been in the Bible. Like if you even look back, man, like when Moses and Miriam and Aaron, man, like Aaron and Miriam was challenging Moses' authority, man, hating on Moses. They were like, why Moses got to be in charge? And they even came in and talk about, oh, but you got that Ethiopian wife. Yeah, Moses was married to an African woman. And guess what? And they was telling Miriam was talking shit about that. And guess what? The Lord dealt with her with leprosy. And it wasn't because of what you think. It's because of her challenging Moses' authority. I'll give you another example. Moses did marry that heathen woman, but Moses wasn't in the truth. The Lord was not dealing with Moses, man, when Moses married that African woman. It was afterwards, man, when the Lord came to Moses. And here's another thing. Whose sons were chosen? Why do you think Aaron's sons were chosen and not Moses? Moses had kids. Moses had sons. But Aaron's sons was chosen, man. That's to show you the importance, man, that we can't marry outside of our race, man. And that's why it's in the law. That's why the Lord told us that we ain't supposed to give our daughters to their sons or our sons to their daughters, man. Problem is, out there in the world, you want to challenge the authority that the Lord set up by trying to masquerade as a priest. You got homosexuals talking about, well, I just had to leave. It was too much polygamy. Nigga. And then what do? You know what they do in the car? You go out there and you start your own little Israelite group. Polygamy, ain't nothing wrong with a man having more than one wife. That's in the Bible. A man can have as many wives as he chooses. But you know what else is in the Bible, which is absolutely wrong? The Bible says that the rich man, that the oppressor, they wear that purple. They adore themselves with that purple. And what do? You adorn yourself with the customs of your father, the devil, the Bible speaks of. That's why you rock that purple. That's why you have your brothers and sisters sign NDAs, sign non-disclosure agreements. Meaning a sister could be sexually assaulted and she can't even talk about it in the car because she signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Guess what? I'll hit a little bit more home. A sister could be murdered in your organization, Joy Morgan, and you won't even be allowed to talk on it because you signed a non-disclosure agreement. That's why the Lord is not with these fake Israelites. The Lord is not with the IUICs, not with GMS, he's not with Sakari, not with none of these fake Israelite groups. The Lord has only been dealing with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and we've been established since 1969, man. I pray you understand that. We are that holy people. We are that separate people, man. And interracial marriage is wrong according to God, man. We ain't supposed to be doing it. Like, you know what the real deep issue is too, Nakar? Like, give me Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. You really want what the oppressor has. Like, you don't think you are successful unless you have a dog on your arm. And you don't realize, man, they plot on us, man. They plot on us. Like, you know the Giants running back Saquon Barkley? One of the best running backs in football. You realize when he was in college, right, when he was in Penn State, Saquon Barkley, Proverbs 3 and verse 31. Saquon Barkley, when he was in Penn State, right, he got the oppressor's daughter pregnant. You know what the first thing she did? She dropped out of school. She dropped out as soon as she got pregnant by him. She was like bag secured. That's why, man, it is an evil thing. Like, what about that sister? You got our sisters in the same ghetto and barrio suffering with us. You can't raise her up. You can't support her. You can't love her. And listen, it's brothers out, and I go both ways too. Some of you sisters make it, you know what I mean? Get up in corporate America, go to school, get college educated, and think you can mess around with the oppressor and these heathens, man. Hell no. You just gonna leave that brother that you was in the ghetto with, in the barrio, in the so-called concentration camp, which are called reservations today. That is an evil thing to do, man. But the problem is you don't think you made it unless you got the oppressor on your arm. Like, and I see it all the time. Look at ESPN. Got brothers like Jalen Rose. What's the other brother that stood up for Kyrie Irving? What's his name? What's the brother? Jay Williams. I applaud that brother for standing up for Kyrie. But let me tell you something else about the brother that I didn't know until I looked it up. And what did General Muhammad always say? Show me a picture of his wife. He talked about all the problems that he had in his household with his father and mother and the domestic violence. And that's a curse from God, man. That happens. Like that's in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 15th verse. Those curses, man. Fathers leaving the household, you know what I mean, leaving their wives and their children. The wives treating the husband like garbage, man, being evil and wicked to them. Brothers being wicked to their wives and to their kids. You go out there, Jay Williamson, you go marry, you know what I mean, some Arab woman. You go marry some Lebanese woman, think life is going to be better. Serena, you go and marry the oppressor and think life is going to be better. What's them two sisters' name, man? That be on ESPN. Not Venus. I talked about Serena. It's two sisters on ESPN. I forget their name, but both of them, good. Listen, wasting all that good tail in the car, giving it to the oppressor.
I don't think you're talking about that black sister that got kicked off of ESPN at one time, right? You ain't talking about her.
Not Jamil Hill.
I'm not too familiar with the sisters that be on.
Listen, man, a lot. The two I'm talking about are sisters, my actual blood sisters. And they are both dealing with the oppressor. And I was like, God damn, go ahead.
Man, I know it's a couple that hurted me back when I found out they was messing with oppressors. The Serena sisters, Eve, Rihanna. I was sick. I was like, y'all, all that, you know what I'm saying? I was happy when Rihanna gave what's his name? When she gave ASAP Rocky something. I was like,
my car, I'm about to break you.
I heard accusations.
Accusations.
I don't know. It's not official yet.
From what I understand, brother, from the higher ranking man, she's a heathen. So this brother said accusations. Heathen now. Same thing with Nicki Minaj, man. She's a heathen. You gotta be careful, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. I'll give you another example. Bob Marley. Y'all love Bob Marley. Y'all love Bob Marley to death. But he's a white man. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Goes to show you, man. But you love the oppressor. You want what he got. Read Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31.
Book of Proverbs chapter 3 verse 31. Envy not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. Don't envy the oppressor. Don't look at the oppressor's daughter and say, oh, I need that. Don't look at the oppressor yourself, sis, and say, I need it. Nah, we can't do that, man. Don't envy the oppressor and what he celebrates. Don't envy Christmas. Don't envy Thanksgiving and New Year's. Envy thou not the oppressor. What? Read on.
And choose not. And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. Don't be a sexual deviant like the oppressor. Like the oppressor has made being a homosexual cool. Like everybody was talking about that sister Brittany Griner, man. And you know, she's a full-blown, you know what I mean, full-blown lesbian. Full-blown lesbian. You can't live that lifestyle, sis. You can't live that lifestyle. Yeah, she tall. She a tall sister. Listen, man, but listen, you got brothers out here that want it, that like it. You know what I mean? Wasting all that good tail on another sister. That's an abomination to the Lord, man. It is an abomination, and we ain't supposed to be doing that. Let these other nations do that. Sister, you got to get with that brother, man. And when you get with that brother, you got to be down with him. You got to submit unto him. A lot of you sisters, man, try to take charge in the relationship. You know what I mean? And a lot of you brothers don't know how to lead. That's why you got to come into the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge, man. That's why the scriptures say, man, you know what I mean? Like Christ said, you know what I mean? You first bind the strong man if you want to break into his house. And listen, man, brother, we got to be in these households, man. And sisters, you got to learn to submit. You got to submit to that brother like he's God. That's in the Bible. And brother, you got to stop abusing these sisters, man. Stop abusing them. Like when I look at what's going on right now with our people, and I just be like, God damn, like this is some messy stuff, man. This is some messy stuff. And as blacks and Latinos, we have to do better. Black man, we need that black woman. Black woman, you need that black man. Latino sister, you need that Latino man. First Nation woman, you need that First Nation man. We need one another. And that's what our God intended. But the problem is nowadays you feel as though you ain't making it in life unless you got a heathen. And it's an evil, evil thing. Like, and I can show you some more scripture just on how evil it is. Let me go. Tonight we're also gonna go over our brother, right? Give me Judges, right? Give me Judges chapter bobbity. Let me get the book of Judges chapter 6, right? Let me get the book of Judges chapter 16. Let me get the book of Judges. No, the book of Judges chapter 14. I'll read about a brother named Samson. Samson, you know what I mean, would be a Cuban brother today, man. Samson would be, you know what I mean, a Cuban brother today of the tribe of Manasseh. Strong brother, man. Samson was a judge in Israel, man. A judgment. He was a, you know what I mean, he was a ruler. You know what I mean? Samson, you know what I mean, was in charge of Israel. And guess what? Samson had a problem with interracial marriage himself. And we're going to read about it. Read Judges chapter 14 and verse 1.
The book of Judges chapter 14, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And Samson went down to Timnath and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines.
Listen, man, Samson, right, went down to Timnath, saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now, what's crazy about this, right? We were under captivity right now, under the Africans. And Samson went down to Timnath, and he saw a daughter of the Philistines, a daughter of the Africans. Read on. Now, mind you, this is a Cuban brother. This is a brother of the tribe of Manasseh. Read on.
And he came up and told his father and his mother and said,
Now, Samson saw this woman, right? Saw this African woman and came home and told his parents, told his mom and his dad. Read.
And said, I have seen a woman in Timnath, the daughters of the Philistines. Now, therefore, get her for me to wife.
Samson came home and said, Yo, Abba. He said, Your father, like your dad, your mom. I just saw this beautiful woman, man. In Samson's eyes. And heathens ain't pretty in my eyes. A lot here. Samson went down there and said, Yo, I seen this woman of the daughters of the Philistines, the daughter of the Africans. Get her for me to wife. Now, let me put this in terms you'll understand. That'd be like Nakar's son, which is never going to happen. Coming home, talking about, Dad, I saw, what's that Hamite's name? I saw Lupita Nyong'o in school, man. Dad, Abba, get her for me to wife. Nakar gonna look at that nigga and be like, nigga. Nakar gonna say exactly what Samson's father is about to say right here. Read verse 3.
Verse 3. Then his father and mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren?
Read that again.
Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren?
He said, listen, his father and mother looked and said, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren? This is so heavy. They cut Samson. They like, is it never a woman of the daughters of thy brethren? Meaning you can't go find a sister from our own nation. We got 12 different flavors. You want an African? His father like, you don't see these fine Judite sisters out here? You don't see these fine Levite sisters? You don't see these fine Haitian sisters? Because listen, man, the Negro in America, you know what I mean? That's the tribe of Judah. Levi will be the so-called Haitians. West Indians are the Jamaicans, you know what I mean, and Trinidadians and St. Lucian and Guyana, you know what I mean, the West Indian Island, the tribe of Benjamin. You're like, you don't see these fine sisters out here? You don't see these Puerto Ricans? That's Ephraim. Shit, Manasseh, it's our own tribe. You know what I mean? Because Cubans. Got Isupk was the Mexicans. You got Argentina, the Chile, Naphtali. You got the North American Indian who is Gad, the Seminole Indian who is Reuben. Hell, man, you even got the Dominicans, you know what I mean, which is Simeon, like Nakar. Like you got Bolivia and Colombia and Uruguay, that's Asher. You know what I mean? Guatemala to Panama, which is Zebulon. You got all these fine sisters out here, and you coming to me, you want an African? That's why they said, is it never a daughter of thy brethren? Man, you can't go and get a daughter of our people. You can't do that. Man, you ain't supposed to be looking at these heathens, man. Keep going.
Or among all the people.
Or among all the people.
No, slightly. Or
among
all my people.
Or among what?
All my people.
Among all my people. Right. Meaning my people. Because our people are blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man. Nosotros somos familia. Meaning we are family, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. This remind me of something, man. Remind me of LeBron's son. Like, baby girl, his little sister and his mother was looking at him like, yo, you couldn't go get a Hispanic sister to take the prom? You couldn't go get a Judite sister or a West Indian? You couldn't go get Levi? You had to go take Becky? Like, what's wrong with you? Who raised you, man? Who raised you? Keep going.
That thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines?
He said, you about to go take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? You about to go take a wife of them stinking Africans? That's what you want, Samson? Go ahead.
Wow, sir, that sounds like the people that don't, that's like parents that understand who they are. You understand, stand with the Lord, and for sure, don't forget about what happened in the past. A lot of parents today, you know, they groom because of the white man, system. Now we're going to groom our children into forgiving them and celebrating everything they just celebrate. Like we celebrating, but think about it, we celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter. You know what I mean? 4th of July, of course, we're going to be good slaves because, hey, we celebrate what you celebrate, right? Mm-hmm. But then when you start realizing, hold on, Donald Trump celebrated Thanksgiving too. He celebrated Christmas. He got a Christmas tree up. Why? I'm doing what he do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like his parents was on point. Like, yo, like you said, I'm stinking Hamites. You want to marry them?
That's what you want.
You see Keisha? You see Maria? They got a song. They gonna have a song out for Maria. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, come on now. Like, you got the baddest woman in the world. You want that? And that's good father. That's a good father.
Listen, man, Samson had excellent parents, man. His father and his mother looked like, yo, what is wrong with you, man? And when the car is saying it's so heavy, it's like, you don't see Keisha? You don't see Maria? Like, you don't, listen, man, this is what you don't understand. Like, you got some fine sisters out here, man, and you sit up here looking at them? You want a daughter of the uncircumcised Philistines? Ooh-wee. And Samson ain't learned his lesson neither. Now, I'm going to skip you down, right? Now, I want you to go to Judges chapter 16. Now, he marries this African woman, right? They end up killing her. Samson's all sad. You know what I mean? And then he meets another heathen. You know what I mean? A lot of people know the story. You know what I mean? But we about to go into it and show you just how evil it is to marry a woman outside of your nation, man. I want you to read Judges chapter 16, right? Judges chapter 16 and read verse 4. Yeah, Judges 16 and verse 4. And Samson ain't learned his lesson. He had to go marry another heathen woman, another Philistine, another African. Go ahead.
This is the book, Judges chapter 16, verse 4. It came to pass afterwards that he loved a woman in the valley of Sarek, whose name was Delilah.
Ooh, he learned he went and loved another woman of the valley of Salat, whose name was Delilah. Delilah is another African who Samson came to love. Let's read.
Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her.
Now, the lords of the Philistines, these Africans came to Delilah and told her, they said, yo, Delilah, we got something for you. Read.
Come. Boom, boom. And said unto her, entice him.
Read that again.
Entice him.
Entice him. Meaning spit game to him. Talk nice to Samson. Why are they telling her this? Because they're trying to set Samson up. And how do you set a brother like this up? I need you to give the backdrop on Samson. Samson was a powerful warrior, man, that we had, man. He wasn't just a judge. Samson was strong as hell, man, because the Lord was with him. Samson killed a lion with his bare hands. Samson killed 1,000 Africans with the jawbone of a donkey. Like, I don't think you understand like how hard that is. Like, you know who I think about when I think about Samson? Picture, to go back to our Hebrew Academy. Samson killing 1,000 Africans be like Kalatazar whooping 1,000 Africans' asses in South Jersey somewhere with just his bare hands. And we know Kalatazar is fully capable of doing it. So, you know, picture that. Picture Ibai taking on, 1,000 East Indians. That's what I see. Kalatazar and Ibai fighting back to back, killing 2,000 heathens. Goddamn, it's going to be a rough day for him. But the glorious thing about my brothers, Ibai and Kalatazar, they ain't marrying no heathens. They understand it's important to marry our women, our sisters. Now, they came to Delilah. They gave Delilah, wait a minute, Nakar, wait a minute. These Africans came to Delilah because Delilah's an African and gave her an order, gave her a mission to entice our brother so they could kill him, so they could capture him. Now, Delilah loves Samson like some of y'all probably, well, love is love. We read that love is keeping the commandments, man, earlier in 2 John 1:6, walking after them. If Delilah was righteous, according to you Christians, she would tell them to hell with y'all. Me and Samson are in love. Let's find out if this African woman does that.
Come. And see wherein his great strength lies.
Mm-hmm. They said, we need you to go, we need you to entice him, spit game to him, talk nice to him. So, come, the water. Entice him. Find out where his great strength comes from. Keep going.
Come. And by what means we may prevail against him.
He said, listen, man, we got to prevail against him. Set him up. We got to figure out where his strength comes from. We got to go get it. We got to go get Samson. Set him up, Delilah. Let's find out what Delilah says and does.
That we may bind him to afflict him. And we will give thee every one of his 1,100 pieces of silver.
Mm-hmm. They said, we're going to bind him up and afflict him. We're going to punish him, and we're going to torture him. We're going to kill him. Now, we're going to give you 1,100 pieces of silver. Let's find out if Delilah took this bag from her people in this mission, or she is going to betray her people and stand with Samson because she loves him and he loves her. Let's see what happens. Read.
Verse 6. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth.
Ooh-wee. Delilah took the bag, Nakar. Right. She was like, tell me, Samson, where thy great strength lieth. Because Delilah was loyal to her people. While Samson was madly in love with this African, thought he found the love of his life in a heathen, this heathen woman was serving her people. Right. It did not betray them. She stood with her people. Think about that the next time you look at a heathen and think, oh, I want to marry Becky or marry Nafutu Nangala, no Peter Leongo or Chun Li. Think about that. You're always going to be their pet. if you're looking at these heathens, man. You better get with Israel. Better get with our sisters. Sisters, you better get with our brothers. I pray you understand that. Keep going.
Oh God. Wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee.
Listen, she basically said, so tell me why you're so strong. Where does your great strength come from? So, you know what I mean? Tell me where your great strength comes from. What are your weaknesses? When it says thou mightest be bound to afflict thee, meaning she's asking Samson, where does your strength come from? What are your weaknesses? What makes you tick? Where does this come from? Keep going.
Oh God. And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green wisps that were never dried, then shall I be weak and be as another man.
Listen, and Samson is joking with her. He like, yeah, if y'all bind me with 7 green wisps, right? Like vines, I'll be weak. If you bind me with that, I'll be weak just like anybody else. Now he told her, let's see what she does.
Now come. Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green wisps, which had not been dried. All right. To her 7 green wisps, which had never been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber.
Now they trying to set him up. They went and got her them 7 green lips, them vines, and they said, all right, bound him up, Delilah. We about to go get him now. We got him. Read.
She said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson.
She said, Samson, the Philistines, the Africans are here. Read.
And he brake the wisp as a thread, a toe is broken when it touches the fire. So his strength was not.
He lied to her because that wasn't the source, you know what I mean, of how to bind him and bind him where his strength lied. But the point is, Samson was being real gullible with her because here's the thing. Samson, you know what I mean, broke the whips, but he should have said, Dad, I told her this, and she tried to do it. That should have told him in his mind, yo, she's trying to set me up. But Samson being so in love with this African woman, thinking she won't betray me, she'll always be with me. Not realizing what kind of danger he put himself in, man. Why you can't be with these heathens? If you read verse 10, Nicole.
Verse 10, Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound.
She said, you lied to me, nigga. You lied. You lied to me. Tell me how you could be bound. Tell me how you can, where your strength comes from and what can make you weak. I look at Samson like, damn, brother, like you didn't find this suspicious? But we read in Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3 through 5 and 6 that when you get with these heathen women and marry them, they turn your mind from serving the Lord. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because it's like all of us, like when we read this, you know what I'm saying? Like she literally like tried to line you up, bro. You ain't even recognize, like, you know, the finesse, like, you know, a street turn, she trying to backdoor you. And you just like, you know, come on now. Like, you don't know that she trying to line you up. But again, like, you just go on the flow. Like, and this is like a lesson to brothers that's so gullible on the woman. Either it's a heathen or not. Protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, brothers don't protect themselves, and that's why brothers like Trouble gets killed. Laying, you know, just finish laying down with this woman that has a man, right? Fresh out of a relationship, man comes in and blow his head off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He caught him with his pants down. You know what I mean? He had he was down for the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all he had to do is do what the Lord told him to do. Don't mess with that. If he got counsel from us, he'd have still been alive. But because he's not in these classes, he was never in these classes, now he's not here no more. Your children has to grow up without you.
You know what I'm saying? Your children have to grow without you. The ones that support, that leaned on your support, you're not there no more. You don't even know if the rights of your music is going to go to your estate, is going to go to your children, all for some vagina.
It's messed up, man, because when the car is saying it's heavy, like basically when the car was saying, man, she tried to line Samson up, and Samson was so gullible. That's why, brothers, you can't be gullible, man. Like, I got to bless in the car. It was a point in period, man, when we was coming up where brothers was worried about talking to sisters from South Philly. Yeah. Brothers was worried about getting lined up. Yeah. Here you got Samson, almost got lined up, and eventually does get lined up, man. Like when you drop down to verse 18, verse 17, like he ended up telling her, you know what I mean, for time's sake, he told her the truth that he's a Nazarite and he ain't supposed, we took a vow unto the Lord at birth. He ain't supposed to cut his braids off, man. So Samson had 7 locks. And when he had 7 locks, first of all, was talking about not dreadlocks. And as a matter of fact, let me get that because I got it up here. In the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, went into this book yesterday when I taught class. We're going to go into it again. In the Zondervan Pictorial, a compact Bible dictionary, to tell you it's not talking about Samson having dreadlocks and their braids. Now, this is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 325. Lock or locks. Bear with me. Bobbity. The braided locks of the Nazarite Samson. The braided locks of the Nazarite Samson. Meaning Samson had braids. These are locks, but locks are braids. Not them dreadlocks. That is an East Indian custom. You're really worshiping the god Shiva. You're serving the East Indians and you're serving the Africans when you wear shit locks in your head, man. You're supposed to wear braids, man. Samson had braids. But if you drop down to verse 17, right? You know what I mean? It says that he was born a Nazarite. You know what I mean? If his head be shaven, his strength will go from him. And Delilah saw that she told him the truth of his mind, and guess what? She lined him up, took that silver, and betrayed Samson. That's why you ain't supposed to mess with these heathens, man. And if I could, to close it out, give me Nehemiah, the 13th chapter in the car. Give me Nehemiah, right? Chapter 13 and verse 23. But we got to realize, man, like, I'm going over these scriptures for a reason to show, man, like how evil it is to marry these heathens, man, and the offense that the Lord takes to it. Because you got too many brothers and sisters out here to be wanting to look at these heathens and wanting to marry them anyway, man. And I'm going to show it to you in the Bible. We'll go to the book of Nehemiah, right? Chapter 13 and start at verse 23.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod.
Listen, man, listen. Nehemiah is saying, listen, I done saw Jews, man, that had married wives out of Ashdod. Meaning marrying heathen women, marrying African women. Keep going. Of Ammon, marrying the Japanese, man, because Ammon is the Japanese. Keep going.
And of Moab.
And of Moab. Moab is the so-called Chinese. Meaning Nehemiah saw in his day Jews, blacks and Latinos marrying African women, marrying Chinese and Japanese women. Right. Read on. Go ahead, boy.
Yeah, like when you look at this, like it's crazy. Like when you take after the white man's Christianity, you know what I'm saying? Because what these pastors is capitalizing off in these churches is the white man's doctrine. The white man gave the same way he gave the slave pastors, the same way he did to the pastors now. You understand the doctrine. And the doctrine is not permitted to teach you the truth. Like right here, we're seeing that there was an issue with Jews marrying other nations.
Right.
But in the Christian church, love don't have a color. Love, it don't matter about what tribe and nation you from. But that goes against everything that the Bible says.
Absolutely.
Even if you try to take the New Testament is going to cut you because
it reference and still say that the Old Testament is still valid.
Listen, man, Romans 15 and verse 4 says, for all things written aforetime were written for our learning. The things written aforetime is the Old Testament, man, the law. You know what I mean? Which ain't going nowhere. And which is so heavy when all of a sudden the car is bringing out and saying, man, is that this is a problem amongst Israel. Like the wives of Ashdod. Ashdod was a city of the Philistines, man. That's Africans. Ammon, the Japanese. Moab, the Chinese. That's who you marry. Keep going.
Oh, God. In those days, I saw Jews that married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and Moab.
Africans, Japanese, and Chinese women. Marrying them. We ain't supposed to do that. Keep going.
Verse 24. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod.
Meaning they spoke half of the speech of Ashdod. Meaning they could speak those African dialects that. That's a language. I said something in African just now in the car. I don't know what it was, but that's a dialect. Salakia. Go ahead.
It's crazy because like when you learn Hebrew, you start realizing like even with these other languages like that, Abba Gada, right? That's why you got ABC. That's why in the Arabic language and the languages around the world, you still hearing the same sounds. You still hearing the similar dialect to the ancient Hebrew. Like when you look at Arabic language, all that ka and when they talking from the back of their throat, that's ancient Hebrew but bastardized.
Listen.
I studied the Arabic language. When I learned the Hebrew language, I said, yo, I do know that this sounds a lot like Arabic. That's why they say ak, Abba, they say Umi.
Mm-hmm. Nakar, you have children. What are some of the things that your children said when they were born and started to talk?
My son said da 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 da.
Mm-hmm. They be like da da ba ga aba ga da ha. Why is it that every child's first words are that? Because that's our language, the Hebrew, the Alashawan Kodash, the Abba Gada Hawazaha Tayaka Lamanasa I Patazakarasha Da. The Hebrew, man, the holy tongue. But the children, because you marrying these heathen women, and the child's first teacher is the mother. So the mother is teaching the children that. That's a language, Nicole. That is really a language, man. Teaching the kids that, but not teaching them the Lashawan Kodash. Keep going. And could not.
And the children spake half of the speech of Ashdod and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people.
You learning, you couldn't speak in the Jews' language. You don't know the Lashawan Kodash, man. But you speak in the other languages, man, which is evil. That's why you can't marry these heathen women, because they're going to teach their languages to our babies. And when we read in Deuteronomy 7:3 and 4 through 5 and 6, you're going to follow after other nations and their gods and forget about the Most High if you marry these heathens. Keep going. So I wonder what now we're about to talk about what Nehemiah did when he saw our people marrying these heathen women. Read on.
All right.
Verse 25.
Verse 25. And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them.
God damn. It says, I contended with them. Nehemiah went to battle with our people, man. He argued with them about this. What the hell are you doing marrying an African? The hell you doing marrying these Chinese and these Japanese, man? It says, and cursed them and smote certain of them. What does it mean when it says he smote certain of them? Let me tell you something, man. Nehemiah laid hands. Nehemiah laid hands on niggas for this. He put hands on brothers for marrying heathens, man. It said he smoked certain of them. Nehemiah was punching niggas in the face for doing this, man. Read on. Nehemiah wasn't playing. Nehemiah wasn't playing with us, man. Like, let me tell you something about the job of a priest. Now, we ain't doing that now. We ain't punching you in the face now. We're not. We ain't getting up in your world, man. We are teaching you. You see us at camp. We aggressive. We ain't getting violent with you. But this is what Nehemiah goes to show you. The priests and prophets ain't no punks, man. Ain't no punks. Ain't no sissies. We ain't your pastor in that Christian church with the white robe and gown on. We for certainly ain't your homosexual Israelite leader masquerading in the oppressor's purple and robes. We ain't doing that. Nah, that ain't us. That ain't one was. We contend with our people just like Nehemiah do. Go ahead, Nicole. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is heavy because like I'm laughing because it's like like in the next part of the verse is like it's like he made him swear, like he beat him up. It was like, you gotta swear by God.
You missed the part. You missed the part. Read after where it says, and smote certain of them.
God. And smote certain of them and pluck off their hair.
Nehemiah was gripping niggas by their beards and by their braids and their afros, man. Nehemiah was gripping niggas up by their beards and their hair. You imagine you sitting there chilling with Becky or Susan, and next thing you know, a hand come out. Nehemiah's hand come out and grab you by your hair and your beard. Surely you would say, surely God is not with me today. Surely the Lord is not with me. Go ahead.
It's crazy. It's like you can just be imagined, you just sitting there like this. You like you and your wife are just looking like Nehemiah is going through everybody's crib. He's seeing you the same way Christ. Christ had the same spirit as him. He was knocking over the whole temple because people was doing wicked in the temple. And this is more clear proof that interracial marriage is disgusting because Nehemiah was of the Lord. And he beat him up, dragged him. You know what I'm saying? They all bloody. He's like, you better swear. You better swear about God. You ain't gonna never sit up here and keep messing with these disgusting.
This picture, that'd be like, you imagine, right? You imagine, like you sitting up here, you supposed to be in the truth, and you sitting up, and you on a date with the oppressor. That'd be like Captain Akai coming out and gripping you up like, yo, what's the matter with you, man? Like, Salaki. You know what I mean? Why you not supposed to be marrying these heathens, man? Listen, man, Eleazar, Aaron's son, there was a brother, right, that came back into the camp, that came back under Israel with an Asian woman. The Lord is plaguing us for interracial marriage, man. Moses is talking to the Most High, and all of Israel is mourning in sackcloth. And this brother come back into Israel like, hey, what's going on, everybody? Shalom, that's your thug. And he got a Chinese woman, and he getting ready to tear fire to her, and they go in the tent. The Lord looking at Moses like, I know this nigga ain't. In front of the Most High, in front of Moses, and in front of Moses, man, in front of all Israel, Aaron's son Eleazar took a javelin, took a spear, and went into that tent and pierced both of them through the belly. Meaning he killed both of them while they was getting it on. Goes to show you, man, the Lord stalled the plague, man, because he said that subsided my anger. Eleazar was one west. We ain't doing that today. We ain't piercing you with javelins today, and we ain't grabbing you by your hair like Nehemiah. But goddamn, man, interracial marriage is an abomination according to God. Keep going, Nicole.
Come. Boom. Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves.
He just quoted Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3.
That's right.
Because Nehemiah knew the law. He said, you ain't supposed to take their daughters unto your sons, or their sons or your daughters, or for yourselves, man. Or for yourselves. Nehemiah cut them, man, with Deuteronomy 7 and 3. That's a precept for this. Read.
Come. Did not Solomon, king of Israel?
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, man. Solomon was listen, man, they talk about Mansa Musa being the wealthiest king to ever do it, man, on the earth. That's a lie. No one was more wealthier than Solomon. Right. King Solomon, man, had all the riches. The Queen of Sheba, you know what I mean? The Queen of Sheba, who was an Ethiopian, she came to visit Solomon to understand and get some wisdom from him. And guess what? For you Rastafari, they did not have sex. Solomon did not marry her. Haile Selassie is not a descendant of Solomon. Haile Selassie was a damn Ethiopian, a Cushite, a heathen, an African. He was not an Israelite. I'm about to break some hearts real quick. Nipsey Hussle was also not an Israelite. Nipsey Hussle was Eritrean. He was from Ethiopia. He was an African, a Hamite. Nipsey was not an Israelite, man. Y'all brothers got to stop with that garbage. Nipsey is a goddamn heathen, man. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Solomon had a lot of wives, man, but some of them wives was heathens. Solomon was marrying African women, white women, Asian women, and he lost everything for that. Keep going.
Oh, God. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him.
There was no king like Solomon, man. Mansa Musa wasn't like Solomon. No other king that ever did it was like Solomon. And he messed up by marrying these heathen women. Read.
Boom, boom. Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel.
God made him king over all Israel. God loved Solomon, man. The Most High loved Solomon. Let me explain something to you. Solomon was Christ in the regeneration. Christ was here before. I might have to go over this in another class to break that down. Christ was here as Adam, Melchizedek, Isaac, and Solomon. The Lord loves Solomon, man. Read on. Nevertheless,
even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
Nevertheless, even Solomon did outlandish women cause him to sin. Read.
Shall we then hearken unto you? Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our God and marrying strange wives?
Listen, man, it is an evil thing, man. It is an evil thing to transgress and transgression, you know what I mean, is going against the Most High. For sin is transgression of the law. That's 1 John chapter 2 and verse 3, man. Well, 1 John 3 and 4. So like 1 John 3 and 4 is sin is transgression of the law. It says, shall we then hearken unto you to do this great evil? Interracial marriage is a great evil according to God, man. To transgress against our God and marrying strange wives, we ain't supposed to do that, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. I want to pull one last scripture on it. Give me Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12, and I'm going to clip the class. Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12, biblical show. If there ain't no questions online, no questions in the room. All right. Book of Tobit chapter 4 and verse 12.
This is the book of Tobit chapter 4 verse 12. Beware of all whoredom.
Beware of all whoredom, my son. Beware of all whoredom. Don't be a whore. Don't be a whoremonger. Keep going.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Chiefly take a wife of the what?
Seed. So like chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Chiefly, meaning greatly. Take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Meaning take a wife that is of our nation, man. That's an Israelite. That is of the 12 tribes. That is black, Latino, or First Nation. That's the wife you got to take. And if you're a sister, that's the husband you got to take. Read.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
And take not what?
A strange woman to wife.
Take not a strange woman to wife. We ain't supposed to marry Africans or oppressors or Asians or Filipinos or Arabs. We ain't supposed to marry these heathens. Read.
Which is not of thy father's tribe.
Mm-hmm.
For we are the children of the prophets.
Which is not of thy father's tribe. We are the children of the prophets, man. We the children of the prophets, man. We royalty, man. We ain't supposed to be out here marrying these heathens, man. You're supposed to understand we come from the seed of these prophets. Keep going.
For we are the children of prophets. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Remember thy son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. All married wives, you know what I mean, of the seed of their own. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to get with one another, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. You got to get with that sister. Listen, if you're a brother, you got to get with that Latino sister, that black sister, that First Nation sister. And if you're a sister, you better get with that Negro, better get with that brother, better get with that Latino brother or First Nation brother. I pray you understand that. Well, with that being said, this is the Wednesday night biblical law class. I'm precinct officer 1000 Yadiah. If it ain't no questions, I'm gonna pass the class off to precinct officer in the car.